You know, martinis are just a craze these days. They come in dessert form, they come in vegetable form, they're blue, they're red, they come with crushed ice, ice cubes. So I figured we'll give a little history on martinis, do a little food with them. Now that's what I call a martini right there. See? Then you give the friend this one. One of those and bam, let me tell you. Actually, before we get started, because this is going to be a fantastic show, from the home office, let me give you all a little information real quick. Everybody has a little, thanks, Doc. That means it's time for the home office. You know the first name? You're going to love this. The first name was the Martinez with a Z, which was for Martinez in California in 1874. A gold miner came into a bar and asked for something special. The bartender mixed a Martinez special, just for him. After 3 or 4, I love that. After 3 or 4 of them, the Z got lost. Then it became Martini instead of Martinez. So there you have it. So I tell people a lot of times what they got to do to have the right accoutrement for their martini. It's very simple. Takes a little time, you do it, keep it in the ice box, then you're ready to kick up the martinis anytime. What do? Do I do jalapenos? You know, and then I have those Cajun things. Do I do okra? Do I do beans? I've done mirlitons. I've even done pears where they've worked. So what I wanted to do, kind of do a little garden special for you. Here's what we're going to do. I've got some salt, and we're going to use one of these fancy jars here. Salt is very, very important because that's kind of a preservative, if you will. Peppercorns for some spice. And then in Louisiana, we're very fortunate to have these things called bay leaves from the laurel tree. But I want to take the bay leaves off. See how fresh those are? How you ladies doing? Are you ready to rumble?
Oh, yeah.
Ready to rumble.
Are you ready for, do you like martinis?
Never had one.
Oh, you're in for a treat. You stick with me.
I'm here. We're in good hands.
Blue, white, we're going to have all kinds tonight, I promise you. How you guys doing? Welcome. All right, so we got bay leaf, salt, peppercorns. Wow, we're off to an incredible start. Yeah. I believe you got to have garlic, you know what I'm saying? So I got a few cloves. Now, there's this stuff in Louisiana that they have this stuff a lot in Maryland, too. They boil a lot of crabs there and stuff, but we have this stuff. I'm not on the payroll, by the way, but these are nice people. They have this concentrated thing. That's what this is here. I know, they love when I do that. Sorry, Buck. It's a shrimp and crab boil. Now, it comes, you might have seen a bunch of shows where I've done pouches of it and recipes for it in dry form. If you can't get the liquid form, you can do it in dry form, but this liquid stuff, oh, this will make you wild. I promise you. You don't want to use a lot of this because you'll like take on the whole neighborhood when you're done with this. Now watch how I've got these little beautiful little beans. We're going to start with those. They don't go in, they're lost. Then I've got these beautiful little teardrop tomatoes that were available. So I thought they would be cool to do them in there. They come in all kinds of colors. The red one seemed very sweet today, so I said, well, let's get them in there. And then jalapenos. Now, if you don't like jalapenos, hey, you can use serranos, you could use all kinds of things. I happen to like jalapenos. All right, I really like jalapenos. Question is there any room for any okra? Well, you can do your own okra ones if you want. We'll put a few okras in there. The key is, folks, is what you do. whatever kind of vegetables you like. You may like pearl onions. You may like carrots. You want to use good white vinegar. And then what you do is you just cover this with vinegar. And then a little bit more salt right on top. Then you put the lid in it. Make sure it's on good. And what I like to do is I like to just kind of let some of that salt and all that spice go down just like that. Kind of shake it a few times. Again, you leave them in the ice box for at least a week, longer if you want. Keep them refrigerated. You'll get a little bit of discoloration because of the vinegar, which is the acid and the salt. But then when you're ready, you're ready. So let's take a vote. How many like theirs stirred? Only one? Two? How many like them shaken? Shaken. We're going to change your mind tonight. And who's never had a martini? We're going to change your mind too. Now, we can't just do like booze all night, could we? That's why I want to show you some great martini food. Check this out. You go down, no matter where you live, there's no excuses. You can always find great olives. Whether they're Kalamata olives, the Black Queen olives, they're from Portugal, from Greece, they're from Spain, they're from California. Get yourself a nice little assortment of olives. This is another thing you can do in advance. You get some good olive oil. Doesn't have to be that much. You can save this oil, so it's not like you're going to have to, throw this oil out after you're done doing this. So whatever kind of oils you like, they come spiced. They come stuffed with garlic. Some have pimento in them. Whatever you like. Get a nice assortment of olives. And what you do, put them right inside of some good olive oil like this. Now, not only all olives are cured, right? So these are like your basic cured olives. It just ain't good enough. That's when you got to say, self. How do I kick these olives up a couple of notches? Yeah. Right? Get a few cloves of garlic, you know? Good. If this bothers you like this, you can always cut it down. It doesn't bother me. I walk around sometimes, I got it inside my ear. So if it bothers you, just chop it up. Whatever herbs you like. I happen to have a little basil today. I happen to have a little tarragon. I had a little bit of thyme. And I had a little coriander. Whatever you like. Little oregano. So, I got some herbs in there now. Then you kick them up a few more notches with a lot of fresh ground pepper like that. You see that? Now, you don't really need a lot of salt because, as I said, the olives have been salted. They've been cured. So you mix all these herb olives around like this. And you can get all kinds of things, you know. You can find those canisters. You can find those big jugs. Put your olives in there. You cork them. You cover them. Or just put them in your ice box. And they're fantastic. So when you're planning your martini party, no problem. This is what you do. You're ready. This is like cured for a week. Maybe it had been in an ice box a couple of weeks. No big deal. So here's what I'm going to show you what you do with these. You take the olives out of the oil that you really need. Maybe drain them a little bit. Drain them really good. Put whatever you don't use inside the ice box. Drain these real good. Whatever oil is left, no problem. We'll let them drain. Now, get some seasoned flour like this, little bit of essence, kick the flour up a few notches. Oh, you got to season the flour. I mean, I don't know where you're buying your flour. Mine don't come seasoned. Season the flour. It's happy right now. See, look, Look how happy this is right here. Can you see that? It is happy. Now, we'll let this drain a little bit. Johnny's coming over. Susie. Mom, whatever. No problem. So, this is where I come in here while the olives are draining. Get a few chilled martini glasses. We'll put these in here for backup. Never know who's going to drop by. Then, I thought what we would do, these here, we'll just kind of do them with ice. So, got some ice cubes. Look good to me. Some people don't like a lot of ice in their martinis. And they call this a jigger. This is supposed to be like one shot. Let me tell you, the original. Oh yeah, this is like, you're supposed to survive on this like this, you know? I say to hell with that. I just punch a hole in it and I just kind of birdwatch with these damn things, you know? So I got to give you some more statistics from the home office. Origins go back to the 16th century. It's actually martinis were, I guess, originally started with gin. Gin is like supposed to be the ruler of martinis. Gin is made obviously with juniper berry, which is where it got its name from, created by the Dutch. Actually, a Dutch medical professor. Who cares? All right. So there's that. There's basically two kinds of gin, Dutch and London. London flavoring is added at the end of fermentation. That makes sense, because they're both made with juniper berries, you see. And then the Dutch, grains and flavorings, they're distilled together. So the Dutch gin is supposed to be a lot more richer. Well, that's where I come in. I'm using vodka. No, I'm just teasing. No, we're going to do this the right way. I'm using real gin. This is exactly, you know, it's kicked up London. But then you got this jigger thing. Here's a martini by the book. Here's a martini by Emeril. You judge. See, my martini, you can easily go like this. However this damn thing's supposed to work. Yeah, come on, baby. Anyhow, we want to let them chill. I got some exciting stuff. But look at this. I want my money back. Now, you go in, whatever kind of fruit that you like. You like pepper?
Love pepper.
You do?
Hot.
Shh,
Yep.
stick around. I'm even gonna, yeah. I'm gonna even make it fancy for you. Check this out. I'm gonna make you a little flower. If that's okay with you. See, look, little flower just for you. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'll kick it up a notch, and we'll put a little bulb inside the flower for you like that. How's that? Which one you want? The little guy? No.
Give me the,
My kind of girl.
There you go.
All right. Look at that. Isn't that pretty?
Dude.
All right. We'll give this guy some beans, a couple of tomatoes. Now, you don't want to eat those bay leaves, believe me. And then we'll do an okra. I'll take the little one. Shit. But I got to have garlic. If you can't find what you want, you just empty the whole thing out and put it back. But one of the things that I wanted to show you folks that I really like, what you can do, you need some of that juice in there. Instead of like vermouth, you need a little bit of that juice. Now, see that? Oh yeah, this kicks it up like notches unknown. Back to the bar food. Now that this is like gotten all nice and drained, you dredge, put those right inside your flour like that, the olives. See that, guys? When you're ready, see the martinis are getting chilled, your guests are arriving. This is how simple this is. You take your olives that are dredged in the flour. It's like, what is he doing? and you fry them. My handy-dandy fryer, for some reason, I think somebody stole the canoculator valve out of it, or maybe the canifflin pin. So the olives didn't fry up. That's all right, never fear. Just go get a pot, put a little oil on it, put it on the stove, not too full. You don't want it to, watch out for that fire safety thing. And then you want to have it at about 360, 375 degrees. Got the garlic cloves and stuff, and then when that oil gets hot, then you just put them in there and fry them up. Fried olives, fried garlic. Sounds good to me. Oh yeah, they get all like nice and crunchy and stuff. Speaking about that, we got a few of the gin martinis out. Now we're going to kind of move over to the old... All right, we'll hit them for there. Going to move over to one that we do at my restaurant Nola called the Blue Glacier. One of my favorites. It's made with blue Curaçao and made with vodka. A base, oh yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, vodka was made over 800 years ago, mostly in Russia and in Poland. It's very pure, it's wonderful. Let me show you how you do this. You get one of these fancy shakers like this. If you don't have it, that's okay. Put some ice in there. Then, you're supposed to use that jigger thing. Yeah, it's a jigger thing. And you have a little bit of Curaçao. I'm doing a couple of them. A lot of friends here. Then that jigger thing again, you're supposed to like have, you know, like that little jigger of vodka. So, little vodka. Now here's the whole thing. The whole thing about this that we do at Nola is you got to stir them 40 times. No joke. 40 times you stir them. So watch this. Get one of these big fancy spoons. Get it in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 40 times. I'm not joking. There's something about the 40 stirs. Or maybe it was 40 nights. I don't know. But then how we do this, we garnish it. What was that? 28? 36? It's something about like the right frigid temperature. So after 40 times, we take a little bit of orange and lemon rind. We use a channel knife to do that. A channel knife. That's one of these things. You probably wondered what one of these things are for. That's so that you can get the fruit. And you can just do this little channel like that. You see that? Oh, yeah. Big fancy schmancy thing. See? All right? Channel knife. And then, like, you get, like, the strainer thing. See? Was this stirred or was it shaken? That's the question. There you have it. So we got the old Blue Glacier Martini right there. Here you go. You haven't had one. There you go. Now you both got one. Here you go, my friend. Kick it up a notch. Kick it up a notch right there. So now what we're going to do, look at our olives and our garlic. You just take these out of the fryer like this, nice and crispy. Who would ever think of such a thing, right? You want to talk about a snack with martinis, though. So now we got those all squared away. Turn the heat off so we don't blow the joint down. What I like to do is just a little tiny pinch of salt, just like that. All right, ladies, be careful. Make some friends. All right, so there's the blue martini and fried olives for everybody. How's that?